exciting edition of History's News. I'm your host, Bob Bababadoboo, and we have a very special treat for you today. Our reporter in the field, John Johnson, will be traveling around the United States to look at national symbols. John, before we get started with this, can you tell our viewers just exactly what is a national symbol?
Hi, Bob. Yeah, happy to start there. So, a national symbol is an object or thing that represents a country. It's something that when you see it, you immediately think of that country in your mind. Now, different countries have different national symbols, and a national symbol can be a lot of different things depending on the country. You can think about it like how superheroes have symbols that represent them. There's the Batman symbol or Captain America's shield. You can also think about it how a heart is a symbol for love.
Well, that's very nice. I love you too, John. But superheroes, that's an interesting idea. I once tried to call myself Captain News McNewsy, but it never really caught on.
Yeah, you might just want to keep working on it.
I'll never give up, John. You might as well call me Captain Never Give Up Man. Huh? No, all right, I get it. So let's move on here, John. I understand you're going to take our viewers around the country to visit some national symbols. Can you tell us where we're starting off here today?
Bob, our first stop is in New York City at the lovely Statue of Liberty. This giant green statue was a gift from France in the late 1800s, and it lies just off the coast of the city. Now, this statue has a few cool features. First of all, it's holding a torch, which is supposed to represent hope and freedom. The statue also has a 7-pointed crown, which each point representing the 7 continents of the world. The Statue of Liberty was one of the first things that many people saw when they came to America years and years ago. Fun fact about the Statue of Liberty, it was not always green. The statue is made of bronze, so when it was first created, it was the color of a penny. After being outside for some years, it turned green.
Oh, it changed green, eh? I wonder if it got angry like the Hulk. Superheroes. That was your idea. But the Statue of Liberty, wow, that is marvelous. But, we're going to move on now, John, using our trusty device. Whereabouts are you taking us next? I can see you've already moved on to a new place.
Bob, I am now in South Dakota at Mount Rushmore. This famous national symbol has the faces of 4 important presidents carved into it. It took the sculptors 14 years to complete the project, and it was open to the public in 1941.
14 years! Holy tuna fish! Well, that's older than my cat, Mr. Mittens. But, John, I think our viewers might have a little hard time seeing the Mount Rushmore behind you. Luckily, we have this new handy-dandy shrink-ray tool. I'm just going to shrink you down, press a few buttons right here, and make sure that our viewers can see what's behind you.
Whoa, hold on. Is that safe? I could just, walk out of the shot.
It's perfectly safe there, John. Don't worry. Just a couple things here, and we'll get this going, and voila!
Whoa! Hey, what happened? Change me back! Change me
Sorry
back!
about that, John.
Change me back!
I worked out the kinks. Hold on. All right. Whew. There we go, John. Sorry. Maybe this shouldn't be used for a while. All right, let's continue with the report. So there are presidents on Mount Rushmore, you say? Which presidents are they?
Bob, please never do that again. All right? I'll just duck so people can... Don't worry. The presidents on Mount Rushmore are George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln.
Wow, fantastic reporting there, John, and smaller John. I've been told by our production team that there should be no side effects. So why don't you just hop in your little traveling machine and take us to our next national symbol there, John. Continue the tour.
Well, I sure hope so, Bob. But let's just move on, okay? I am now in Washington, D.C., right outside of the Washington Monument. This national symbol was built to honor the first president of the United States, George Washington.
John, I've been told by a couple people that I look like George Washington. But it's only when you squint, and I go like this.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing it, Bob. But the monument is in the shape of an obelisk, which is a tall, pointy figure, a little bit like a pencil. The monument itself is 555 feet high, and you can even take an elevator to the top to get a view of our nation's capital.
Wow, John, you know that sounds amazing, but I'm sorry to say I am afraid of heights. You see, it was the summer of 1973, and you know what? I'm actually going to save that for another time. Why don't we just continue with the tour? Where are we off to next, John?
Bob, yeah, I am still in Washington, D.C., just down the street from the monument at the White House. This is where the president and their family live while they are in office. The president also works out of the White House in the Oval Office. A lot of important stuff happens in there.
Wow, the White House, what a fantastic place. You know, the president's asked me there a few times myself.
Wow, that's really impressive, Bob.
Well, of course I was dreaming and it didn't actually happen, but I'm very hopeful I'll get there for real one day.
That makes sense, but we're gonna get back on track here, right? The White House was built over 200 years ago. It was finished around 1800 and took around 8 years to build. Now, there are around 132 rooms in the White House, including its own movie theater.
Wow, John, 132 rooms! Wow, that must make for some really intense games of hide and seek.
Well, I'm not really sure about the games in there, Bob, but I think...
You would never find me.
Okay.
Well, we're about to wrap this up here, John. Anything else you want to add to the report?
Yeah, Bob, I would just like to say we didn't look at all of our national symbols today. We just hit the important landmarks. There are national symbols for the United States, such as the bald eagle and the flag, that we didn't look at today. So we didn't do every national symbol, just some important landmarks.
Wow, fantastic reporting there, John. I'll just hit this handy-dandy remote and get you back here in no time.
No.
That's the wrong remote. That's the wrong remote.
Whoops. John, we'll figure this out here. We'll get this all straightened out. Don't you worry. But that's all the time we have for today, everyone. Thank you for joining us once again on History's News. We will see you next time as we dive into the facts straight from the past. I'm your host, Bob Bababadoboo. Good night.